to be some deeper messaging. Yeah, it's just that's what I'm afraid of because there's so much right now of like, because like, I want more LGBT things, but like with the likes of like it feels like if sometimes it feels like that like a lot of negative things are on the rise. Do you know what I mean? Like if they get together, they'll probably have like two kids. I wouldn't mean a thing of it, anything of it. I know it's just like in this day and age, like I'm just it's because like Jojo likes like with Peppa Pig, where for like what I don't even know how long it's been going, but let's say it's like it's been going on for 20 years. I don't know how long Peppa Pig has been a thing, but it's been like two kids for the entire series of like 20 years or longer. And then recently, a baby pig was born, basically as like subliminal messaging, like, hey, have children, have children, have children. But I also don't like when LGBT stuff is shoved in my face. Like, let it be natural if it actually works. That's the only way anything works. The thing is, like, there's so many instances where the LGBT is the thing that works, but no one wants to see it that way. And they're just like, oh, that's being shoved in my face. Is like, straight narratives are being shoved in people's faces all the time. Like literally as I was saying, like there's a lot of like straight ships in like a lot of shows where the characters have zero chemistry, but they end up together anyway because of like heteronormativity. I'm just like, they could have just stayed friends, or they could have stayed co-workers, or like there's no need for a relationship here. There's no chemistry that should have been like sending them together like this. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, the thing is like the way you look at it as well is with with K-pop Demon Hunters. There's like in that show, right? There's, if you haven't seen it, spoilers, okay? I apologize if this is a spoiler. But the main character, well, in this movie at least, she's the main character. Her name is Rumi. She has a love interest who's a guy, right? So it's a straight ship. But the thing is, like, in terms of like in the show, what ends up happening is we don't get to see them date. We get to see them hold hands and like sing a song that's not, it's not actually romantic in nature. It's basically just we could be free of our burdens basically, and like we can help each other be free. It's like it can be seen as romantic because it's like it's a duet, but it's not necessarily romantic, which I really do like. I genuinely like it. They do have chemistry, but like nothing actually happens in the show. They don't kiss, they don't date, they don't, the closest they get to holding hands is just them like, literally it could be like a friend handhold, do you know what I mean? Like it's not necessarily romantic. So like the closest we get is them holding hands, and then spoilers, alright? Spoilers, okay? I'll vaguely put it, one of them is not around anymore, okay? And so literally they basically got the LGBT storytelling. Basically, that is what ends up happening with a lot of LGBT stories. They get all the things that heavily imply romance and heavily imply that these two have romantic feelings for each other, but don't actually show anything explicit. Don't show them going on a date. Don't show them holding hands, or even show them like kissing or anything. Even like a closed mouth kiss, nothing. Not even like a kiss in the cheek or anything like that. So like they got the queer storytelling story points basically, and then one or both of them, because like usually in LGBT stories, because there's this trope called bury your gays, and so like one or both of your gays die. That's why it's called the trope bury your gays. So like it's literally, that's like most, if not a lot, of LGBT stories where it's where it's like heavily implies romantic feelings, but if for like the likes of like homophobes, if they don't want to see it, they won't. They'll just like, oh, they're just sisters. Oh, they're just best friends. Oh, they just, childhood friends or whatever. They love each other like sisters. Do you know what I mean? Like the way it gets brushed off, and that sort of thing. And for an absolute fact, if one of them was, if both of them were a girl, or if both of them were male, everyone and the kitchen sink would be like, oh, they loved each other like best friends. They were brothers. They were sisters. And it's just like, because it's a straight ship, a man and a woman. I see actually no one doubting the fact that they had romantic feelings for each other. No one is doubting the romantic feelings. Everyone is like, they absolutely had feelings for each other. And I'm just like, this is the exact same storyline, say, a female pairing over on other show, gosh. This is the exact same like setup that they had. They didn't kiss, they didn't do anything, but they were clearly pining and all this for each other. They clearly had romantic feelings for each other. Because nothing explicit happened on screen. You're like, oh, they're just friends, and that's that. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like on one hand, Rumi and her male lead got the queer storytelling, but they're still being treated as more canon than actual canon LGBT ships. Do you know what I mean? There's like, they got the storytelling, but then literally I see no one calling them brother and sisters. Do you know what I mean? I see no one going, oh, they just love each other as friends. I'm like, you know what I mean? Yeah, that does happen, like in the Sailor Moon anime, literally turning the LGBT lesbian couple into cousins, which is just insane. Because I heard about that as well. I remember hearing about how one of the, like, because there's like a a sailor depending on the planet. I think there's like, I'm not even gonna joke because I'm not sure which sailors were the lesbian sailors, but I do know that there was two women who were part of the sailors, and they they were lesbians. They were very obviously lesbians, and I bet you 10 to 1 people were still, probably even to this day, there's probably still people going, they're just sisters. Oh, sure, they're cousins, actually. That's all that was. It's like they're practically making out. It's like they can't because of homophobia, but if this was a straight pairing, they'd be making out. Like, literally, the best way to get it through to some people sometimes is to be like, if one of them was male or one of them was female, would this be a ship for you? And if the answer is yes, then fucking probably. I actually do see them as brother friends, but I have relationships like that. I'm assuming you're talking about Zora Riku. I do kind of get the impression that Riku does, because like just from like the implications of like some scenes that I've gotten a whiff of from like TikTok and the like, it does kind of imply that like Riku probably has a crush on Zora, and there's nothing really indicating anything on Zora's side. Because like I've seen people like talking about like Riku probably being gay, and like that's the closest people get to it as well. Is like, um, so like if Riku is gay, like yeah, I could see Riku being gay. So like you agree with the idea that like Riku is probably a gay character. So like if you don't see him with Zora, is there anyone else in the series you could see Riku with? Like to Riku, no one matters more to him than Zora and Kairi in a way, because like in this game, he's very much like kind of sacrificing his soul for Kairi almost. Because the way he's like, Zora, you're not trying to save Kairi at all. I'm doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, so even Riku in a lot of ways, he's very much a I love my friends to the point I will throw myself into a fire to make them warm type of a thing. Like Zora's friendship is kind of like, I will get my friends firewood so like they can have heat and be warm. And Riku is like, I will set myself on fire so my friends will be warm. It's like, my guy, there's no need. It's okay. You could just get firewood, please. It's like Riku's very much, it's just from this game alone, is very much in the boat of, I will set myself on fire if it will benefit my friends. And that is essentially what he's doing here. He's like, he helped kidnap the princesses and Pinocchio and the likes because Maleficent was like, oh, she's a heartless puppet, and maybe finding the princesses of heart will help save her. And so he's like, right, well, I'll help out to save Kairi. I think it's so funny to me that Riku, or not Riku, Zora is like, oh, I found Kairi, and I'm just like, you didn't find her. Riku found her, and then he found you. Like, you got to, like, that is actually essentially what happened multiple times as well. Riku found, well, technically Riku was found by the villains, and the villains had Kairi, but then they posed it to him that, oh, we found her randomly, or whatever, however they posed it to him, and then he found Zora, and then Zora was like, I finally found you. I was like, no, he found you. Like, the only people I can actually see him having a good relationship with are actually two female characters that you haven't seen yet that are kind of like Zora. I'm sure you heard of the meme of everyone is Zora, or yeah, I cannot for life of me pronounce that name, but I have heard of like someone with like the name beginning with X. I cannot pronounce it for the life of me. Like I know who people are talking about when they say it. I just don't know how to say it myself. Like X. Yeah, and I know that like with there's like a lot of like Zora looking characters as well. Yes, let's get into this and let's see how far I get into this as well, because who knows, I might end up getting stuck on something. Oh, hang on, my battery or my fucking controller. Okay. Oh my god, is the audio not working again? You've got to be fucking with me. Not now. Not now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Spent so much fucking time talking, the fucking audio disappeared on me. Let me just turn on and off my fucking Steam Deck for a second. Sorry, let me see. Like, people say, everyone says Zora, or everyone is X array, X Han, Zer Hanert. Say, they're not. Alright, I'm just gonna turn off my Steam Deck and I'm gonna put it back on. So, shutting down. We'll be back in a second. So you're saying like everyone gets shipped with Zora or with this other guy? It's like Zora X everyone and this other guy X everyone? There are actually like plenty of ships just like that, where it's just like this character is shipped with basically everyone in the series. Oh, so everyone is like Zora, or everyone is like... Oh, not ships? This is lagging so badly. Sorry, this is specifically set up for the gaming as well. So I have it that like... So it's... I'm not gonna like move her until... Because like I'm going back into the game in a second, as long as it lets me. Are you much of a shipper? That is something I would like people to like talk more about on shows. Something I'd like to talk more about on this. Like, not even necessarily about like Kingdom Hearts ships, just like ships in general.